Come here. It's the all-new K4 hatchback in its natural habitat, a parking lot. What's up guys, welcome back to Seize the Speed, and as you know by now, to the left side of me is the all-new 2026 Kia K4 GT-Line Hatchback, and this one is sparkling yellow. Let's get into it. So the Kia K4 came out a few years ago as a replacement for what we knew in North America as the Kia Forte, as their budget roll-around daily driver that gets good gas mileage and doesn't break the bank to buy one. And now they have given us the hatchback, the sportier looking one, and I'm here for it. The K4 showed up and it was a banger from the beginning. Let's go ahead and remind ourselves of why we think this thing is one of the best looking sub $30,000 vehicles, starting right in the front and reminding us of why we love the K4 so much, because it is very muscular and different, and it's not afraid to be different. This grille and all the other piano black trims on the front of the K4, all these slats are very aggressive. Your drive sensor up here. Take a look at these headlights that make a statement going into your side fenders and going vertical instead of the horizontal headlights that we've seen for tens of years on vehicles. It's unique, it is different. On the first shot, you don't think this is a Corolla, this is a K4. And well, the side profile continues the same theme on the sedan, but on the hatchback, there are even more statement pieces. Like the rear door handle, which is now on the back door itself on the pillar, and of course reveals a plentiful amount of space that we'll get into in a second. Walking back this way, and you can see the immediate drop of a hatchback. This borderline gives me wagon vibes because, well, it does have a 3/4 rear window on the pillar, meaning this thing is actually a pretty long hatchback. And while it is a pretty long hatchback, it is 11 inches shorter than the sedan, but don't let that fool you, because if we open the hatch to the K4 hatchback, we can see that it actually has more storage space than the sedan. This is why hatchbacks make a whole lot of sense. Of course, those seats do drop down to give you a sea of room if you need to carry furniture in your hatchback. Well, now you can. But before we leave this rear end, I want to take a better look at all the design elements. You can see this built-in spoiler that looks pretty aggressive. All of this is spoiler. The roofline ends right here. Pretty interesting bit of design. Some more piano black trim bits. The rear glass, of course, we don't have a... Well, actually we do. Look at that. The rear windshield wiper is tucked away right there. That's a pretty cool design element. So you don't have to see it, but it is there for functionality. Kia emblem, of course, in the back. The taillights are very resemblant of the sedan. I'm glad they are, because the sedan looks pretty fantastic. They do the same vertical situation that goes into your bumpers. More piano black and even aggressive diffuser styled lines down here. Pretty cool. I think that is your reverse light on the back. And that concludes the rear end of the K4 hatchback. With that being said, let's go ahead and pop the hood and see what's powering the GT line. All right, let's go ahead and pop this sparkling yellow hood and prop it up so we can take a look at what's powering the GT line. Of course, as a base model, the Kia K4s come with a naturally aspirated 2-liter. This is not that engine. This is the 1.6 turbocharged engine attached to an 8-speed automatic, and it is capable of 190 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. Sadly, that is about 5 horsepower down from the Forte GT because of emission reasons, but it's still a plentiful amount of power for a hatchback like this. The K4 Turbo is not actually too bad on gas either. It is capable of 28 city and 33 highway, which are pretty stout numbers for a non-hybrid vehicle in this day and age. Back seat of the K4 hatchback, or dare I say wagon, and I have a really good amount of space for my knees. The floor has a little hump in it, but it's really not too bad of a hump. Let's go ahead and try sitting in the middle position, and well, while the room for my feet is limited, headroom is decent, legroom is decent also. So if your passengers don't mind sharing, you might even get 3 adults back here. There's a decent bit of amenities in the back seat of the K4 as it comes. We've got rear vents and of course USB-C chargers. We do have a center armrest. Overall, the interior of the K4 is a nice place to be. I like the white and black two-tone seats. However, there's a really gross use of plastics everywhere, which for the price range, you can't really fault the K4, but we'll be talking about that as we go throughout the interior. That being said, let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat and talk about everything up there. Welcome to the front seat and the business end of the K4. Here is the key to the Kia K4, and looks pretty attractive. I like the new Kia keys. All the buttons are on the side, pretty interesting shape. That being said, here is the seats you get in this particular one. There's different configurations and color options, GT-Line embossed. And in this particular one, these are ventilated and heated, and you can use that option on the door to select between the two. The steering wheel even on this particular one is heated, and it also looks pretty attractive. The same black and white two-tone, kind of has a flat top and a flat bottom. Paddle shifters feel nice to the touch. They are plastic, but they are a metallic color. We do have a pretty nice infinity screen spanning around the dash. We've got your gauge cluster right here that kind of blends into your stereo, and then right in the middle you have another screen that is your climate control options, because they kept physical buttons for what does matter for your climate and your different mode selector. So when you're driving, you don't want to be messing around with a touchscreen, you have that. But if you want to mess around with a touchscreen, at least they gave you a separate one, so you don't have to go digging through your infotainment for it. And the same goes for the infotainment. We've got a volume knob that you can rotate, and we've got buttons for your different modes, your map, your home, and all the other media buttons. And the rest of the dash is a pretty attractive design. We do have a bit of ambient stuff going on, this cool pattern that spans across the dash. This particular one is optioned with the Harman Kardon sound system, which is a pretty nice touch from Kia. I saw the little subwoofer peeking in the back. And up here, this particular K4 has a pretty large sunroof. But all that being said though, believe it or not, I still haven't driven a Kia K4, and this one is a GT line. So I'm buckled up, you should buckle up so we can go and take this thing for a spin. Let's go. All right, driving the Kia K4. I've driven the sister car to this, the Elantra, but I never got a chance to get behind the wheel of the K4. And me and the Forte go way back, because my first car, whether you guys know it or not, was a 2011 Kia Forte Coupe SX, and that was the sportiest car Kia had ever made at that point. It had the big 2.4 liter engine out of a Sportage at the time, or not even the Sportage, the one next to it, Sorento. It had the 2.4 liter out of the Sorento, the 7-seater, in a little coupe, and well, I have a lot of high school memories with that car. So the K4 has a special place in my heart. It is practically the resemblance of that car in modern times. Fortunately, no more two-door version of these cars, but we do have the hatchback now, which is geared towards a audience like the 18-year-old version of me. And let's test it out. Drop a couple of gears. The transmission is pretty happy. This particular one has all the camera system, by the way, bird's eye view and all of that. High quality, and when you turn your turn signals on, it shows you your blind spot. We have two drive modes, normal and sport, selectable on your steering wheel, and we are now in sport mode. Man, this brings back memories. This K4 is capable of doing 0 to 60 in right around the 7-second range, and pretty much that's what my Forte Coupe did back in the day. High 7s, this is a lower 7s car, and it is boosted. The transmission is much better than what I used to drive. The 8-speed that Kia Hyundai are using on these cars, I actually like a lot for a daily. Wow, we got a little bit of wheel spin. Oh yeah, this transmission is plenty to have a little bit of fun in. Man, this is an awesome little package for somebody that just needs a little bit of practicality in their daily driver and a little bit of pep in their step. Wow, I'm really impressed with this 8-speed. And did I mention, have you seen the exterior of this car? It's super cool. For something that starts right around, I believe, $28,000 range, this particular one, as equipped, is $32,000 and change, which isn't bad for all the loaded options we got. plus the warranty you get, you can't really argue with the value that the K4 hatchback is making. And well, if you guys didn't know, I own a wagon. I'm a big fan of things that are car-like but also practical. So the K4 hatchback to me is a winning ratio for a daily driver, a car that does it all. The GT line just adds a little bit of spice to it. Of course, we would love to see a full GT model from Kia with the Elantra N motor, maybe. That'd be cool, right? But for now, we'll take the K4 GT line. This thing has a really good bit of pep. And with this transmission, helps you put all that power down. Man, this thing is actually quite engaging. I like the way the steering weights up. I gotta say, the K4 definitely surprised me. It is more fun than I anticipated, and on top of that, it seems like a very good formula for practicality. In a world full of SUVs and tall crossovers, the K4 GT-Line hatchback is a breath of fresh air. But with that being said, I want to hear you guys' opinion. I want to see what you think about the K4 GT-Line, especially the hatchback. And if you're in the market for something like this, well, there isn't very many comparable cars. There's the Golf, Honda makes a Civic hatchback. And well, if I'm missing other options, leave them down in the comments. If you're looking for a daily what is it and why is the K4 hatchback in your shopping cart, do you own one? If you do, let me know how that's going. Smash that thumbs up button because we got pretty cool cars coming to Seize the Speed real soon. And subscribe so you don't forget to check out those videos. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Peace out, and I'm out.